Chapter 3. Nate stood very still. "Are you a pirate?" Nate asked. "Yes," the voice said. "A pilot. I may want my treasure." Nate's heart lifted up. He rolled around his face to his attacker, 3-year-old Theo, Eliza's little boy. He was waving his pirate sword, a spindly stick from the cherry tree. Theo was supposed to be napping and out of Scorch's sight, but there he was, wide awake. "You are very fierce," Nate told his friend. Theo stood proudly, his brown eyes gleaming down like polished gold. He had been wild about pirates for months now. Ever since Nate started telling him stories about his adventures at sea, Theo waved his stick sword. "Arrgh!" he shouted in his most pirate-like voice. Nate grabbed Theo around the waist and picked him up. Theo's happy giggles rose up, whooshing over Nate like a breeze. Seconds later, Eliza came rushing out of the house, her skirt whirling around her shoes. Eliza had Theo's same dark brown skin and big bright eyes. Unlike Theo, Eliza wasn't smiling. "You both need to hush," she warned, looking towards the house. "You know what he could do if he hears." He, of course, was Storch. He had no patience for dealing, and even less for Theo himself. Eliza's worst nightmare was that Storch would sell Theo, just like he had sold Eliza's husband, Gregory. A few months before Nate arrived, Eliza rarely talked about Gregory. It hurt her too much. Nate knew, but she had told Nate a few things about her husband. That he was joyful, like Theo, and had those same bright eyes. That not 1 hour went without her missing him. What a fool Nate was, getting Theo all riled up. Luckily, Storch was probably too busy cursing George Washington to notice Theo's giggles. "Mama," Theo said very quietly, "I'm a pilot." Eliza's eyes softened, and she said Nate shared a little smile. "Even pirates have to be quiet," Eliza, kissing Theo on the nose. "Or they get into trouble." Storch's voice bellowed from the house. "Cake! I'll keep this pirate out of trouble," Nate promised. Eliza rushed inside to serve Storch and his friend. Theo put his face close to Nate. "Tell a pilot story," Theo begged. "Tell about Slash." Slash was Slash O.C. He was the greatest living pirate. Nate had grown up hearing Papa's stories about Slash, and Nate had shared most of them with Theo. Slash got his name from the dagger strapped around the stump where his hand used to be. Some pirates were nothing more than low-life thieves. They captured ships and stole everything they could. They murdered anyone who got in their way. Not Slash. He never killed a man, and he gave some of his treasure away, mostly to orphans. He'd sneak up into cities disguised as ragged beggar clothes and hand out gold coins to kids living on the streets. "I'll tell you a Slash story later," said Nate. "How about a song?" A grin spread across Theo's face. He loved when Nate sang shanties, the songs sailors crooned as they did their work. Nate sang Theo one of Papa's favorites, about the sun rising up over the sea. Soon Theo's eyes were closed. Nate gently pried the stick sword up from Theo's hand. He'd lift his little friend up and carried him to a soft patch of grass. Then Nate went back to his weeds and worms. Storch and Marson had finished their cake and were on puffing on cigars. They were still talking about the war. "Don't worry, my friend, this war will be over soon," Storch was saying. "The king sent hundreds of ships. A big battle is coming any day. Washington and his army of traitors will soon be crushed." Marson nodded his jolly face in agreement. Nate didn't pay much attention to the war. He understood what it was about, whether the 13 American colonies that would stay a part of England or become a country of their own. He remembered the late-night talks on Papa's ships. Nate would lie in his hammock and listen to Papa and the men gripping about England and King George. There was no mention of a war back then. Most of the men were proud that America was part of England, the most powerful country on earth. But they hated paying so many taxes and the extra money. England made the colonists pay when they brought things like tea and paper. They started to see King George as a bully, but they didn't care about the people who lived in the colonies. Their fiery discussions would last deep into the night. Nate would struggle awake. He never wanted to miss a word of what they were saying. But now Nate didn't care about King George. It didn't matter to him who won the war. or whatever happened. He was pretty sure Eliza and Theo would still be slaves. Papa would still be gone, and Nate would be stuck here pulling up Storch's weeds. Nate stopped to listen to Storch and Marson. Time crawled by. The front door banged open, and Mr. Marson walked out to his raiding carriage. Storch flew outside and waved a goodbye as he puffed on a cigar. It was right then and that Nate realized that Theo wasn't asleep in the grass anymore. Nate scanned the yard until he spotted the little boy. He was next to the house, dressed a few yards from sport. Then Theo had found a new pirate sword, an enormous stick, almost as big as he was, and he was spinning around like a top. The stick whipped around with him. Storch had his back turned and couldn't see Theo. Just then Theo stumbled. The stick slipped from his hand, fused surprisingly fast like a sphere, and it was heading right for Storch's head. Nate's heart stopped. He opened his mouth to scream out a warning, but it was too late. Thwack! The stick smacked Storch right on the back of his head. He cursed in pain. Then Nate's uncle fell to the ground like an empty stick.